We took a little intermission there for Facebook Live, but we're back now and continuing to build the frame, the loft frame for our Moxie, our lovely Moxie. So we've now got the sides on, we've got the containers for the rails on the sides, and we're building it up in the non-standard configuration, what they call, I'm going to read it off here.
I think it's the low position.
It's called, yeah, it's called the low position. So loading your quilt, the HQ loft frame offers two frame setup styles, high position and low position. The frame user manual explains the difference between the two styles and details setup instructions for both. You can use the included quilt top and backing decals to mark your poles for correct and consistent frame loading depending on which setup you choose. And in both setup styles, the quilt top fabric should be facing up and the quilt backing should be facing right side down. That's it.
So we've almost finished building the side arms here.
Okay.
And then we can put the poles in. I've actually built that first pole with the ratchet on Liz at the back there.
Oh yeah.
So that goes in the top hole here. So if you feed that end through the machine,
Yeah.
and then through this top hole here,
Yeah.
and then it goes through on that side.
And then through with this like a spring-loaded clip.
That's it.
And then that's it.
There we go.
Ratchet. Cool.
Ratchet. So you can put the Velcro on here, ready for the leader.
Yep. So Velcro. So the Velcro is what we put on, which enables us to then attach fabric leader, which are also supplied. I wonder if the leaders go all the way to the end. I'm just going to check. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll centre this, because it's in two sections, the rail, isn't it? So if I centre it, and then it'll be equidistant. And what I'm going to do, the rails have a little spring-loaded clip, and I'm going to come this side of the clip with the Velcro.
Yeah, if you go about an inch that side of the clip, that will work about right.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like that so that I can do it
Yeah.
right on the top.
Yeah.
And that is where
Yes, you want to keep it as straight as possible on the pole.
Yes. Whoop. That didn't work very well.
Make sure you don't need to go further this way.
Well, the Velcro is a
Oh, I
fixed
see.
length.
That is, you have centred the Velcro.
That's what I was doing.
Okay.
I'm going to do that again because it's sprung off. Because I wanted to get it really even. I centred it by lining it up with the centre and just going there.
Okay, perfect.
I thought that was a smart thing to do.
That is a smart thing to do.
Wow. I surprise even myself sometimes as well as my husband.
You constantly surprise me. I think we'll leave it at that.
I wasn't going to do anything. So I've put the ratchet on so that the pole doesn't move as I'm doing this, because that makes it much easier.
Good. I'm just checking everything here.
That's good.
So how many? We've got 8 of these.
No, I centred it.
Yeah. You did the smart thing,
I did. Oh, centre that.
but it didn't work.
Didn't quite work. Can I put these on yet? What else can I do?
Well, this is the dead bar. So, well, you can put the leader on there when you're
Oh
ready.
yeah. Right, and we need to mark the centre.
I've already marked them.
Oh, you've marked the centre. He's marked the centres. Mark the centre of your cloth leaders so that when you load your fabric, it is centred.
Here's the dead bar.
Okay.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. The Velcro is fine. So the cloth leader is what we're attaching now, and these will enable you to easily pin, using the supplied pins, your fabric onto your frame. Beautiful. Take us down the centre.
Yep.
And then that rolls around there. Anything else I can be doing? You've got the dead. Oh, this, they call this the idler bar or dead bar because idler, because it does nothing. But what it actually does do, it does do something of course, is it keeps a consistent level so that as the quilt progresses, the bulk of the quilt builds up onto this back rail, the take-up rail, and the height of the quilt doesn't vary at all. So you don't need any kind of adjustment at the side as the quilt progresses, which is different to a three-rail system.
Yeah, just the notch on there.
Yeah. If you put it... Oh, you can't. Okay, that's it.
Okay, so you need to do the final.
So I put the
Ratchet and
Velcro
Yes, you can put that.
on
So we've
that
set
one.
this up in the low position, so the leaders are all going to fall in the same direction.
Yeah, the big difference between the setup in these two different options are, in our experience, we find that what they're calling the low position is good with rulers, because the rulers, the base and the rulers mean you can project out over the top of the rail. We will find out if that is the case or not. So as we're doing it in the low position, I'm going to attach the Velcro because the cloth leader is going to go in that direction. In the high position, the two cloth leaders do what's called waterfalling in. They come into each other. So in the low position, I'm going to put it so that this quick release pole mechanism, it's in this direction, the Velcro. Put the stopper on so that it holds in place. I can get a nice consistent Velcro for my cloth leaders to attach to. this cloth leader. Goes on the middle.
Bash me on the head. Okay, I think we're nearly done. I've just got the final pole here ready to put it.
Yeah. I'll give you a hand with that.
So we've set the ratchets up on the right hand side, so the left hand needs to go in first. Push down the stopper. Then this can fit in here, press down. There we go.
Great.
So the final bit of Velcro. And it looks like we're nearly done.
That's my last cloth leader attached. Just pushing it down onto the Velcro. You can see how these rails turn and the cloth then folds around the rail, to which we attach our fabrics. So in this configuration, we're going to have the, this is going to be our top fabric, the nearest rail, and our backing fabric is on the one further away. And then we need to get some fabric loaded up. We can put our stickers on. We can get our stickers on that show backing. Are we going to use these? Quilt top, backing, fabric, quilt top.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to do that. That shows clearly what's what.
So backing one goes on this rail. In that direction. This is really handy. I like this. I love stickers.
So does my 2-year-old granddaughter.
See, we never really grow
Just
up.
saying.
Cool. Right, and we'll need some thread. And I've got perfect colour thread. And I'll get some Glide Split Pea.
Oh, I love that colour.
It's, I'm going to use a very American expression, awesome.
Oh. There are plenty of American videos about this machine. I think we need to make this a British one.
Yeah, a split pea, that sounds very British. Okay.
So we shouldn't use
Actually, it's
orphan.
more like
We should use spiffing or something.
spiffing.
No, that's horrible. That's a bit Etonian, isn't it? Spiffing. Certainly not a word I used at school.
No.
Not the school I went to.
thread it up.
Which I keep telling people was a really good school when I went to it.
It deteriorated after Pete left.
But recently it's featured on a BBC programme about remedial schools.
So I've just threaded it up, and this is our bobbin case. It comes preloaded with some cream coloured thread. I'm just going to do a bobbin test. That's really good. Perfect. Pop that in. If I needed to adjust it, it comes with the screwdriver, so I could have adjusted my tension with that. And I think we're nearly ready to load up.
I think it's time for a coffee.
Yeah, time for coffee, and then we'll load up the quilt frame. Okay, should we do cut there?
Yeah.
See you after coffee break.